Hey, it's TK here, TK Squad here with another anime episode review of Megalo Box 2 Nomad. So this is a continuation of the last episode. Last episode, Joe went back home and met some familiar faces that's now grown up. One, the main one that you would know if you watched the first season is Sachiko, the little kid that was always with him and Pops. So, this episode here, it starts off Joe is getting water. He meets one of the kids that was at this orphanage that they end up making after his big win against Yuri. And if you watched last episode, you would see what was going on. Pops was sick. He had some type of illness. Joe was going to do one last fight to get this money. He was hoping that was going to help cure Pops. But they later on found out that the sickness had already spread too far and they wouldn't be able to save Pops anyway. But on this episode here, we got a little bit more flashbacks and we saw what had occurred in Joe's last fight before Megalo Box 2 has begun. And yeah, it was hard. It was a hard loss for Joe in that fight there. And while he was there fighting, that's when Pops died. He wasn't able to see him before he died. At the funeral, Sachiko was pretty much telling him, "You're not part of the family anymore. Don't ever show your face again." And that's what Joe did. But yeah, while Joe was getting word at the beginning of the episode, he meets one of the kids that he ended up leaving at this orphanage. He's not older. He owns a restaurant. Meanwhile, while he's there with Joe, Sachiko and some of the other kids are chilling in the restaurant. Two customers come in asking where the owner is at. Pretty much one of them was like, "Hey, little Missy, why don't you have some fun with me?" You know, like how they do little cliche stuff on like movies and shows. That kind of thing happened. Sachiko was not having it. He was like, "Hey, get your hands off of her. Stop messing with her," pretty much. And the guy was like, "What, this your girl or something?" And he was like, "No, she don't just belong to me or anyone." But he just wasn't having it. He didn't like how the mood or the tone or how the way these guys were acting, you know. So then later on, when the kid who is now older and owns the store, returns, they're being all mouthy and like cocky and confident. I guess they kind of important, well, not important, but they, I guess, know someone that's big in this area of the town. And like, "Hey, where you been at? This drink is on the house, right?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, sure." You know, Sachiko, he gets up, he grabs a bottle, walk up to one of the guy, bashes him on the head. And then the guy like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, "That one was on the house. You want another one?" They pretty much runs the guys out of the store. Later on, while no one is there except for the owner, the kid, they pretty much destroyed the store. Well, they roughed up the guy, destroyed the store, it took his deed. So Sachiko's pretty much, he went there to the place and he's trying to fight to get this deed back. And he also apologized, but he trying to do anything to get this deed back for his friend, from this orphanage that he grew up with. Joe finds out what happened. He goes in and he takes Sachiko's spot because they want Sachiko to fight this big ass dude. And Joe, he comes in and he takes the slot for him, fights a guy. We see the outcome of that, what happens. And Sachiko pretty much filled in the kids from the orphanage that he told Joe years back when Pops had died to never come back or show your face again. Like, he told them that's the reason why Joe had left all those years ago. So I guess he kind of feeling a little sad or regretful for doing that, maybe. And the episode pretty much ended right there. So we're going to see more of what happens or what's going to happen in the next episode right there. But overall, pretty good episode. Got more story. We filled in the blanks. We know why Joe was in that state at the beginning of the episode. He got a hard loss. We saw it. He got knocked out. It was a hard loss for Joe when he was trying to win that money for Pop's illness. But overall, like I said, it's a good episode. Check it out. I'm CK. Tkrds, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.